Hello, I am Steve McClendon, and I want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of Ram Talk on the Hill. We are talking today with our principal, Dr. Hines. I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you for
I have a couple questions in your mind. Okay, so entering your second year as principal at Carver, what has it been like?
The second year has been really good. It's been we had a very smooth opening of school. I think everyone is on the same page as it relates to the expectations and where we want our school to go. So I've been very excited about the opening of school.
What are your goals for Carver?
My goals are pretty ambitious for Carver because the first thing I want is to get Carver off the failing school list. I believe that my students are just as smart and bright and capable of performing at a high academic level as any other school. So that's my first goal. I know that in order to make that happen, there were a lot of things that we needed to do. And I think we've been pretty successful. I'm very pleased that the student body has been receptive of those expectations. And you know, every day I say to you all, I expect nothing from you but your very best. And I know that as long as the students are giving their best, then we can rise to those expectations.
So what has been your biggest challenge being an administrator?
The biggest challenge is the school operations. Carver's a big school, and there are so many small things that impact my day. Like not having enough custodians and making sure the building's clean. Not having all of the resources we need to balance the school campus, getting the repairs taken care of. So there are a lot of other things that I have to deal with, and I'm just one person. So if there's an incident in the school where students get into an altercation, if it's something that requires my attention that the assistant principals can't handle, that can start at 8:30 because it happened in the lunchroom. That's not finished until around 11:30 when I've spoken to the last parent. So that can eat up a day. So now I only have from 12 to 3:30 to get everything else done. So managing the building can be very difficult. And my biggest challenge is that I can't only be in one place at one time.
So if you had to describe Carver in one word, what would it be?
Exceptional. And I say exceptional because, one, we have first-class facilities. We have one of the most beautiful campuses in the state. Secondly, I say that because the student population is so diverse. We're in a unique situation that we have such diversity on our campus. We have a number of students from South America, different areas. We have very articulate students. We have students who are capable of becoming the next Nobel Peace Prize winner. We just have such a variety of students that I feel like we're an exceptional school.
What do you mean when you say everyone has the last name here at Carver?
Because I think we're a family. I have to keep in mind that the public has its own perception of Carver High School. It could have been based on an incident or something that they experienced with someone at Carver. And so that perception impacts everything that we do. So that's why I express to my students that when you do something, people see you as Carver because they don't know your name. They'll ask you, what school do you attend? And you say Carver. And they make a decision about the whole school based on your interaction with them. I've had people call me and say, I met one of your students at the grocery store. A young man works at the grocery store, and he was so nice, and I asked him where did he attend school, and he told me Carver. And I just want you to know that you all are doing a great job because he was so manable and he was very nice. That has an impact on us all. Now, in the reverse, when somebody goes out there and does something stupid, then guess what? They assume the same things about all of us. So everybody's last name is Carver, including mine. Most people don't know my name, but they'll know, oh, that's the principal of Carver. If I behave in a way that's not acceptable, then people make a judgment about me and what I'm doing here at Carver. So I like for us to be family, because all of you are my children.
So every day during the announcements, you say, if no one tells you I love you, you know, your principal does. Why you feel like that's important to say?
Because I remember what it was like to be a teenager. And one of the biggest challenges that teenagers have is being accepted and being loved. And sometimes as parents, we forget to say that to our kids. They ought to know I love them. Well, so every day I try to tell you all that I love you, because I do love you. One, because God says I have to. And two, is because my expectations of you go above and beyond. I know that your futures are bright, and I know that you can have the world if you want it. So I love challenging my students to be the very best that they can be. And in my heart, I'm in love with my kids. My husband will tell you all that all the time, that I neglect things that I need to do for myself or home, because I said, I gotta go because my kids are there. I need to be there because my kids are gonna be doing A, B, or C. So I truly love my students. You all are the reason I get up in the morning is for my students.
I want to thank you for tuning in to this edition of Round Talk on the Hill. And I want to thank you for taking the time out to answer these questions for us.
Okay.
My name is Stephen McClendon, and this is Round Talk on the Hill.